Hi there. I'm making this video because many of you have asked me about the eclipse cycle. There are two eclipses that are going to happen this summer. On July 12th, we are going to have a solar eclipse, and on July 27th, we are going to have a lunar eclipse. The solar eclipse is actually a wide angle eclipse wherein the north node of the moon, Rahu, is casting a shadow on the sun from the sign of Cancer. Sun is in the sign of Gemini, although it's in the last few degrees of Gemini. That's why we're having a partial eclipse. This eclipse will be seen only in the southeastern hemisphere, where it's actually happening on July 13th, which is a Friday. This eclipse is really important because many planets are influencing this eclipse, bringing in a lot of energy that we can tap into. It also has a huge transformational power. The planets that are influencing this eclipse are Mercury, Mars, Saturn, and Jupiter. Mercury is joined Rahu in Cancer. Mercury is our ability to speak, our ability to communicate, ideas, thoughts. All this, when it's joined Rahu, is really clouded. Rahu is that part of us that wants everything in the world without really understanding or digesting it in. So it's like a 3 or 5 year old toddler who wants every toy in the store. When Mercury is joined Rahu, it really makes our speech or our communications ungrounded. It also makes us think at lightning speed. So sometimes we think before we speak. Um, the other planet that is influencing this eclipse is Mars. Mars is joined the south node of the moon, Ketu, in the sign of Capricorn. Mars is really powerful at this point in time because it's not only exalted, it's also retrograde. Retrograde planets are closer to the Earth, so we can feel them more, and they back up in our psyche, which makes us reflect and introspect on what they represent. One example of Mars getting retrograde and joining South Node in the sign of Capricorn, which is an Earth sign, is the heat waves we are experiencing in Los Angeles. Um, Mars is that part of us that wants to take action. When it's exalted in a sign like Capricorn, it wants to take the right kind of action, which is really in the highest interest of our contributions in the world. When it's backed up in the sign of Capricorn and join Ketu, which is like really the concentrating end of the node, which digests everything and remembers everything and is that part of our psyche that has been carried on from lifetimes and from generations. It really, Mars joined Ketu and retrograde really creates like an implosive energy. It creates a lot of frustration. It can create a lot of anger because what we really want to do in the world is backed up, is really backed up in our psyche. So instead of taking positive action, our actions have become introspective. You can imagine a sword which is really meant for external purpose, but you're taking this sword and really cutting yourself from within. That's one example of Mars going retrograde and joining a really strong planet like Ketu. Uh, the other planet that is influencing this eclipse cycle is Jupiter. Jupiter has uh, a wide angle aspect on Sun and Moon in the sign of Gemini. It's a ninth aspect of Jupiter. Um, Jupiter actually represents our higher teachings, um, our principles, religion, our spirituality, our higher consciousness. Jupiter also has just gone direct as I speak on July 10th. Jupiter being direct and stationary because it just went direct, actually makes us stop and take a moment and really reflect on what our principles are, what are our higher teachings, what do we really believe in. Um, are we willing to move forward with the things we believe in and we place our faith in? Uh, Saturn, which is the part of us that brings in judgment, discipline, awareness of time, is also affecting this eclipse. It is actually casting its eighth aspect on Rahu and Mercury in Cancer. So it's bringing its transformative power, but also the pressure of time. So anything that you're really working in, you're feeling the pressure of time. And this is all of us on the planet. These are general things that are going on in the planet. On the planet, our ability to communicate, our ability to take positive action, our ability to really dissect out the truth and not follow dogmas, or what are our dogmas and beliefs. All these things are being questioned, um, and brought under the microscope. There is a big transformative power with this eclipse, and I hope each one of you can really tap into this power to raise to your next level of consciousness. If you need more readings from me, um, please look me up. My website is astro-gps.com. You can find the link below, and you can also look me up on Facebook. I hope I can help a few of you if you'll decide to get a session with me.